Welcome to Babanarratives, where stories aren't just told, they're experienced. Close your eyes or don't. Listen closely, because every word has a way of pulling you in, wrapping around you like a dream you don't want to wake up from. Tonight, we step into a new world, one that's about to become a part of you. This is the reflection that wasn't mine. There is something about mirrors that we never really question. We look, we adjust our hair, we check our expressions, but we never truly consider what if the reflection is watching us back? What if, just for a second, it moves, but you don't? This is a story of Neil, a man who never believed in the supernatural, but one night his own reflection decided it was time to change that. Neil was a 32-year-old architect living alone in a small apartment in the city. He was the kind of guy who didn't believe in ghosts, superstitions, or anything beyond cold, hard logic. His apartment was nothing special, plain white walls, a dark oak floor, and the usual furniture. The only thing that stood out was the mirror, an old, antique piece left behind by the previous tenant. It stood against the wall in his bedroom, tall and wide, with a frame of blackened silver, intricate floral carving running along the edges. He never really paid attention to it, but maybe he should have. It started with something small. One night, after a long day at work, Neil dropped his key on the dresser and looked up at the mirror. His reflection was there, tired, dull eyed, mirroring his every move. But then he turned away, and for a fraction of a second, his reflection didn't. He snapped his head back to the mirror, but everything was normal. Maybe he was just exhausted. But the air in the room felt heavier, as if something had just shifted. He shook it off, but that was a mistake, number one. Over the next few nights, small things kept happening. When he walked past the mirror, he felt like someone was watching him, more than just his own reflection. The glass would sometimes feel colder than it should, even on warm nights. And then one night, as he was brushing his teeth, he saw something in the corner of his eye, his reflection smirking. But when he looked directly at it, the smirk was gone. He told himself he was imagining things, but then his reflection blinked, but he didn't. That night, Neil couldn't sleep. The air felt wrong, like he wasn't alone. At 3:12 a.m., something pulled him awake. A pressure, a presence, and then a sound. Tap, 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 coming from the mirror. He didn't want to look, but he did. And the reflection, he wasn't in bed. He was standing, smiling, right behind himself. His reflection raised its hand, but in real life, Neil didn't even move. And then, in a slow, deliberate motion, his reflection placed a single finger against his lips and shh. Neil scrambled out of the bed. His reflection didn't. It just stood there watching, waiting. Then the glass of the mirror shuddered, cracked, and his reflection stepped forward. Neil ran. He grabbed the first heavy object he could find and smashed the window. Glass rained down. The reflection was gone. For a moment, there was only silence. Then a whisper, "See you again." Neil moved out of the next day. He refused to speak about it, refused to look at under the mirror for weeks. Until one day, in a hotel bathroom, he finally looked again, and there in the glass, his reflection smiled and winked. Did Neil ever really leave, or did something else take his place? What do you see when you look in the mirror? And are you sure it's really you? If you enjoy this story, make sure to subscribe for more. And the next time you see something strange in your reflection, maybe don't look away too quickly.